Genesis Invitational, as we all know. Also, Tiger, we all know that your TGR Foundation benefits from this event this week, but I think we're all curious as to kind of what other aspects went into your decision of trying to, actually competing here this week.
Well, the plan was to play. Whether or not this body would listen to me or not was the main question. And I've been, as I told some of you guys that were down at the Hero, and father-son, I can do the Ranger Rick thing, and so I can hit golf balls and do all that stuff. It's matter when I have the endurance in my leg, and we've been pushing it pretty good, and been able to recover each and every day, which is great. So I'm excited about to be able to compete and play here at Riviera, where basically it all started. So I'm excited to get out there and play tomorrow, and get a nice little taste and feel for it. A little colder than I thought, so I'll get used to that and get ready for Thursday.
Before we take questions, you mentioned where it all started back in '92. You hit that opening tee shot. Everybody saw that video. It's everywhere. Just when you look at now and the young kids from your foundation being involved, can you just talk to the progression of your foundation and the situation where it is now?
Yeah, just to have some of our attendees of our learning lab to be able to come out here and experience this and to see how their lives have been impacted because of this event, because of the support from Genesis and everyone here, the media and all of our STEM programs all benefit from this event. And to have the kids that have watched this event, have been through our STEM programs, to be able to have the ability to come out here and look at the best players in the world play golf, but also showcase, what their confidence and what they have developed into, and some of the conversations that I know some of the players have had with our past attendees from the Learning Lab. It's incredible. It's inspiring.
Terrific. Okay, we'll just make sure that everybody, if you have a question, just raise your hand, and we'll try and get through as many as we can. We'll start with Jeff in the back.
Tiger, two things. Could you just a little more specificity on the what it is physically that you needed to kind of overcome to be able to play? And then on a lighter note, LeBron breaking the scoring record last week. I'm curious if you have thoughts on that and any golf record that's sort of an equivalent of the regular season points title.
Okay. As far as the recovery is more on my ankle. Whether or not I can recover from day to day. The leg is better than it was last year, but it's my ankle. And so being able to have it recover from day to day and meanwhile still stress it, but have the recovery and also have the strength development at the same time. It's been an intricate little balance that we've had to dance, but it's gotten so much better the last couple months, and I'm excited to go out there and compete and play with these guys. And I would not have put myself out here if I didn't think I could beat these guys and win the event. That's my mentality, and if I wasn't ready to win at this level, I am very rusty. But I've come off rusty situations before, and I've done well, and I've had to utilize a lot of those tactics in practice. And build up, and plus also I know this golf course. I know I haven't had a lot of success on this golf course, but I knew what to practice for, shots to hit when I was at home getting ready. And as far as the LeBron record, it's what he accomplished is absolutely incredible, of just the durability, the consistency, and the longevity. I never thought, I grew up watching Kareem here. I never saw him play at Milwaukee, but he was the Cap. That's all I remember, the Showtime Lakers, and watching Cap run down there with the goggles and hitting the sky hook, and that record we never thought would be surpassed. But what LeBron is doing, but also the amount of minutes he's playing, no one's ever done at that age, and what he's done, and be able to play all 5 positions, and that's never been done before, and then at this level for this long. And then as far as our equivalent to that, I don't know, maybe you look at maybe me and Sam at 82. Yeah, it takes a career to get to those numbers, and that's how I think probably is best how you look at it.
Go to this mic here.
Hi, what did the PNC tell you about the state of your game and how to impact your prep for playing in another event?
You know, as you watched at PNC, I was able to play out of the cart and hit shots and do whatever I wanted, but I just didn't have the endurance in my ankle. And so we've been working on that and getting it to where I can still hit shots, but it's the walking endurance it's hard. That's something that we've had to work on This is the beach, and just basically stress it out, but also be able to recover by the next day, see how it is inflammation-wise, and then keep practicing. And I may have overdone a couple times here and there, but here I am.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Tiger. Being from Norway, I just had to ask you about a guy who's done really well at your events, Victor Hovland. He's done well here. He's done really well at Bahamas. Just your thoughts on him as a player and as a person, and how far he can go.
The sky's the limit for Victor. The way he drives it, he doesn't really have any weaknesses in the game. I mean, initially it was probably his short game and putting, but that's turned around. He's done some really good work with that. But just the way he strikes the golf ball. I know he's not one of the longer bombers out there, but you just look at how many fairways he hit and how many iron shots he hits. That's going to take up a long way. And then his fitness. I mean, he works very hard at getting explosiveness and endurance, and he's able to play. And I think just getting started, and the sky's the limit for him.
Okay, we'll go to Kira in the back row.
Hi, Tiger. You just said that you wouldn't tee it up in the tournament if you didn't think that you could win. From the PNC until now, could you just take us through your lifestyle and your day-to-day to actually get yourself to that point where you can sit here and confidently say that?
I hit balls basically almost every day. I chip and putt, and I got a neat little practice in my backyard, so I can do a little bit of short work there and a little bit of progression. And I'm up to medalists and hit balls, and I've walked the golf course and I've played. And then I'll play, I'll hop in a cart, when I get slired. And then it's just gone from a few holes to 9 holes to on the back 9, and then to 18 holes and like home practice. So it's just a build-up, and it has built up fantastic to get to this point. And then after this event, we'll analyze it and see what we need to do to get ready for Augusta.
We'll go to Jim in the back, and then we'll get that mic up the front.
Yeah, Jim Hill, good to be. How are you, man? Good to see you.
Good, Jim.
Good to see you. You've always had thirst for knowledge, whether it is golf or just game of life. What have you learned about yourself over the last year since your accident that maybe you didn't know before?
Well, I think that I've had an incredible support staff and people that have really have helped me get to this point. It's been hard physically, as we all know, but I've had just great people around me. My training staff has allowed me to get to this point. I've gotten stronger, more pliable. I've got more endurance. And then just the great friendships I've had, even on the tour. These guys texting me and egging me on, and the banter back and forth, and this incredible support. And I would never have gotten to this point, made it back to this point without their support.
Can we go to Dan on the side?
Tiger, have you walked 72 holes 4 days in a row?
No.
Do you ever see a
This
scenario?
year?
Yeah.
No.
And then I've done it before. And do you see a scenario when it's not so touch and go, when you might be able to depend on leg, or do you think it will be this kind of day-by-day thing forever?
As I've been saying, guys, I'm not going to be playing full schedule, so I got to pick and choose my events and how many times I play. And I alluded to last year, it's going to be probably the majors and maybe a couple more. And would I like to play more? Yes. Will it allow me to? I don't know. And I have to be realistic about that. So being realistic about the recovery and the training and, sorry.
It's not me calling it.
Sorry. It's an alarm. My bad.
We've all done it.
No, it's just about I know I'm not going to be playing, a full schedule, and I got to pick and choose in what I'm going to be playing, and it's very, very limited. And so I would put all my energy into those events.
Okay, we'll go to Todd right here.
Tiger, anticipating the Masters, it's going to be the first time that you're in a room, in a group with players. Wondering what that anticipation is like for you as far as how you may handle it, what your demeanor is going to be when you're around them.
That's a great question because I don't know because I haven't been around them. Some of the players out here have, and for instance, Rory's in Dubai, with some of those players, and I don't know. I don't know what that reaction is going to be. I know that some of our friendships have certainly taken a different path. But we'll see when all that transpires. That is, still a couple months away.
Champions dinner may be uncomfortable Would you anticipate it being uncomfortable?
Yeah, the Champions Dinner is going to be obviously something that's talked about. You know, we as a whole need to honor Scotty. You know, Scotty's the winner. It's his dinner, and so making sure that Scotty gets honored correctly, but also realizing just the nature of what has transpired and the people who have left, and just where our situations are, either legally, emotionally. There's a lot there.
Okay, we'll go to Ryan in the back.
Tiger, over the past month, Tom Brady retired. Now Aaron Rodgers is considering it. Different sports, obviously, but can you relate or understand their plight at all, where they're walking away not necessarily because their physical skills have diminished, but because they feel like they don't have any more to give?
Yeah, I think that I would. There's a touching over. I'd be back after my back fusion. I didn't know if I was going to walk in after that, and I came back and had a nice little run. Same thing with this leg. I didn't know if I was able to play again, and I played 3 majors last year. So, yes, when you get a little bit older and you get a little more banged up, you're not as invincible as you once were, and that's just the reality of all of us just aging. Those are contact sports. I mean, I don't know how they've played, or Tom playing as long as he did, and the level he played at was phenomenal. I mean, we just have to just look at him as an outlier of how great that was. And I remember as a kid growing up watching John Elway speak and just cried that I can do it, but my body won't allow me to do it anymore. He won, the last 2 Super Bowls, but he just could not physically do it anymore. And that's, I've gotten to that point a couple times where you kind of think about it. But in our sport, I mean, there's no contact. I have 300-pound guys fall on top of me. It's just a matter of shooting the lowest score. So we have the ability to pick and choose and play a little bit longer. And we've seen my hero Arnold Palmer, like all of us. Hell, he played in 50 straight Masters. Okay, 50 straight. I don't know if he's old yet, and he played 50 straight Masters. And you look at Gary Player, who played in the 51 Masters. I mean, we're different sports.
Okay, we'll go Doug and then Dylan.
Do you feel grateful to be here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I figured as much. But at what point in your career did you start to feel grateful to be out here? Not suggesting you ever took it for granted, but you know what I mean, injury-wise.
Probably, I've had some knee surgeries early on in my career, but nothing like what I experienced with my back. And when my back went, man, those were tough surgeries and tough rehabs. And I could power through, my knee and the meniscus and no ACL, and I could power through that, but I could never power through my back. And that's when I started realizing that the mortality of this game and just sports in general. And I didn't think I was immortal. It's just what we all think as athletes. But there comes a point in time when a couple of my friends in the NFL is when you become afraid to get hit. You take that one little flinch of I don't want to get hit. Well, when I had my back, I didn't want to hit certain shots because I may end up on the ground, and so that was tough.
The thing I want to ask about are expectations, which you can ignore, but they're still out there. So if you go back to like early 2000s, where if you went a month without winning, you were in a slump. Mm-hmm. The expectations were that great. To later in your career, where the expectations from some were you'd never win again. Mm-hmm. Which one do you enjoy hearing more?
Well, I look at that. Me personally, I looked at the fact I hadn't won in 3 years. So there you go.
Dylan, go ahead.
Yeah, Tiger, we're a couple designated events into the new look PGA Tour, and I was just curious how you think it's going and how different you think it'll feel throughout the year.
Yeah, we've had 3 already, and I think it's been received. There's obviously mixed emotions about it, but from a marketing side of it and from the tour side of it and the future of our sport, it's been very positive. And we need to keep going with it and keep staying aligned and keep progressing and making it better. We need to produce the best product we possibly can to sell to all the viewerships. And there's so many different distractions out there now. There's so many different options that you have now. And so it's about us creating the the best product so that we have more eyes on it. We have more stars. People want to come out and either come out and watch the game of golf, participate, either on social media or the different streaming platforms. Just the fact that they're able to, watch our sport. So in order to do that, we have to create the best product, and that's what we're trying to do.
Mixed emotions. Have you gotten a chance to talk to guys that have different types of emotions?
Absolutely. It runs the gamut, and from top players to players who are, obviously have injuries, or the fact that you have guys are journeymen or back and forth. Yes, I've talked to the whole gamut, and as I said, there's mixed emotions. But at the end of the day, we're trying to create the best product, and how do we do that? That's what we're trying to do, and we're still figuring it out. And we have a lot of top players online since the meeting, and we're trying to create that atmosphere of cross the board and understand that players need to be able to have access and ability to play at these events. And how do we do that? We want to create next stars. I was lucky to get a sponsorship here at 16 years old, and so is that possible in that new model? We need to create opportunities like that. I like to look back, and I got lucky to play this event. Byron asked me to play his event. Arnold asked me to play in his event. So I got those opportunities very early in my career, and we don't want the next stars to not have those opportunities.
I'm going to go to the front here with Mark.
Tiger, is the plantar fasciitis an issue at all in the foot?
Yes.
As much of a...
No, it's not as much, no, but it's better.
Okay. And with the LIV talk kind of came to a head here last year, looking back over the last year with what the PGA Tour has done, the things you talked about, is LIV more of a threat, less of a threat?
Well, it's been a very, the past year, since if you like this week at Genesis last year to where it's at now, we all have to say it's been very turbulent. We never would have expected the game off to be in this situation, but it is. That's the reality, and I was alluding to, you're trying to create the best product. Obviously, they're a competitive organization trying to create their best product they possibly can, and we're trying to create the best product that we think the future of the golf, how it should be played. How do we do that? We're still working on that, and we have so many other top players online, and how do we support our world partners in the DP World Tour? We need to have our top players understand we play around the world, and again, create this product possible. And it's been ebb and flow. It really has. It's difficult. You've seen our ambassador Rory go through it and tell him, but it's exceptional. He's been exceptional. Go through all that. I've been with him on all these calls, these side meetings, and for him to go out there and win, it's been incredible.
Take one from the middle, and we'll cross out.
Tiger, along these same lines with the events, obviously this whole thing came together very quickly from last fall. Now, a lot of things had to happen to make this work, the scheduling and everything. One of the things going forward that's being discussed, at least there's rumblings about, is making some of these limited fields no cuts. Sounds like the Invitational will be on the docket of that. Where do you stand on that? And also, would you have a say in it for this tournament?
We are in the process of figuring all that out. And it's been a variety of different models, different opinions, trying to figure out what is the best product in a competitive environment and what we should do going forward. Yes, limited fields, what's the number? Cuts, yes. Or no, what's the number? What do we go to? How many players are playing the event? There is, what is the ability to get into designated events? What is that? How is Jay able to sell our product to all the different sponsors across the board? There's so much give and take, and it's still ongoing. I mean, it really has. It's been difficult. A lot of the players have been very forthright, which is great. It's what it should be. We are a players-run organization. So, yes, we have the voice and all to say, but we're trying to help our trainer create what he can sell so that all of us can benefit.
Okay, we've got time for a few more. We've got Martin on right here. Go on.
Going back to your first tournament here as an amateur, what are you thinking? You're thinking, hey, I got in, I have to prove myself that I'm deserving of this, or are you just going out and just playing golf normally?
Well, there's a couple things I realized. Number one, I had never seen as many frustrating balls that were non-striked. Be able to hit those brand new balls I normally find in creeks and stuff and use tournaments. And then come out here, and then I shoot 72, 75-ish, somewhere in there, I can remember. I was like 17 back of Davis. So I realized that, yes, there is a disparity and there's a gap. Could I have played a little bit better? Yes, I could probably have played 4 or 5 shots better, but I was not good. And I realized I need to go back to high school golf and get better there, get back to junior golf, hopefully play in a couple more events. I was looking at that. Mission Nelson actually plays that, Arnold plays that. So I was getting opportunities to kind of figure out where I need to go. And it allowed me to get better in the junior events and the amateur events. I was able to have more success because I got this experience of what I needed to do out here and pick their brains and watch how they went about their business.
Okay, we'll go on the left side of you.
Tiger, you referenced Arnie and Gary Layton for the Masters. Is there any part of your competitive DNA that would allow you to enjoy?
Nope, I'm not playing that much.
But like, as a tournament golf, you do reference like the history of the game. A lot of people, if you're city and you wake up with the irrational belief I can win this tournament, could you still enjoy any of it?
I don't. I have not come around to the idea of being if I'm playing, I'm playing to win. Okay, I know that players have played and they are ambassadors of the game and trying to grow the game. I can't have can't wrap my mind around that as a competitor. If I'm playing the event, I'm going to try and I'm to get a W. Okay, so I don't think that making the cut's a great thing. If I enter the event, it's always to get a W, and there will come a point in time when my body will not allow me to do that anymore. Especially like, but wrapping my head around that position and being ambassador role and just playing and just trying to be out here with the guys, no, that's not in my DNA. In ambassador role and hosting events like this and hosting the Genesis Invitational or Hero, I mean, those things I totally get it. But as a player, I flip the hat around and become a player. From a player standpoint, yeah, I'm here to get that W.
Okay, we'll take one question. So, when people you off, how much of a factor is that for you?
It used to be early in my career. I don't think that it had been late in the middle part of my career and the backside of my career. It really hasn't. It was, honestly, can I actually do this still? As I was alluding to with Doug here, those operations were tough. That proving it to myself more than anything that I could still do it. Starts at home, starts playing at 18 holes, and then come out here and having the belief that I can do it. And ultimately, it's within me, and whether or not I believe I can do it. And it's not the motivating factor outside. It used to be. I certainly did, but not towards the later of my career.
Okay, thank you for the time. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Everybody, just we'll have Charles Sifford, moral exemption winner, Marcus Bliss momentarily. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, and welcome to the tournament host of the Genesis Invitational. We all know, also, Tiger, we all know that your TGL Foundation benefits from this event this week, but we're all curious as to what aspects went into your decision of trying to actually competing here this week.
Well, the plan was to play, whether I would listen to it or not, was the main question. And I've been, as I told some of you that were down at the Hero, and I can do the Ranger thing, and so I can hit golf balls and do all that stuff. I have endurance in my leg, and we've been pushing it pretty good, and been able to recover each and every day, which is great. So I'm excited to be able to compete and play here at Riviera, where it's going to start. So I'm excited to play tomorrow and get a nice little taste and feel for it. A little bit colder than I thought, so I'll get used to that and get ready for Thursday.
Before we take questions that you mentioned where it started back into you hit that tee shot, everybody saw that video everywhere. Just when you look at now and the kids from your foundation being involved, can you just talk to the progression of your nation and the situation where it is?
Just to have some of our attendees of our learning lab to be able to come out here and experience this and to see how their lives have been impacted because of this event, because of the support from Genesis and everyone here, the media and all of our STEM programs all benefit from this event. And to have the kids that watch this event have been through our programs to be able to have the ability to come out here and look at best players in the world play golf, but also showcase what their confidence and what they have developed into. In some of the conversations that some players have had with our past attendees from the Learning Lab, it's just incredible starting.
Terrific. Okay, we'll just make sure that everybody, if you have questions, raise your hand. We'll try and get through as many as we can. We'll start with Jeff in the back.
Tiger, two things. Could you just a little more specificity on what it is physically that you need to kind of overcome to be able to play? And then on a lighter note, LeBron breaking the scoring record last week. Curious if you have thoughts on that and any golf record that's sort of equivalent of the regular season points title.
Okay. As far as the recovery, is more of my ankle, but I can recover from day to day. The leg is better than it was last year, but it's my ankle, and so being able to have it recover from day to day and meanwhile still stress it, but have the recovery and also have the strength at the same time. If you can balance it with advance, but it's gotten so much better in the last couple months, and I'm excited to go out there and compete with these guys. I would have out here if I didn't think I could beat these guys and win the event. That's my mentality, and if I wasn't ready to win at this level, I am very rusty. But I've come off situations before and I've done well, and I had to utilize a lot of those tactics in practice and build up, and plus also I know this golf course. I know I haven't had a lot of success on this golf course, but I knew what to practice for. Shots to hit while I'm getting ready. And as far as LeBron record, it's what he accomplished is absolutely incredible. Of just the durability, the consistency, and the longevity. I never thought. I mean, I grew up watching here. I never saw him play at Milwaukee. Just the cap. That's all I remember. The Shine Lakers and cap on their goggles and hitting the side hook, and that record we thought would be surpassed. But what LeBron is doing, but also the amount of minutes he's playing, no one's ever done at that age, and we've done. Able to play 5 positions and. That's not and at this level for this long. And then for our equivalent to that, I don't know, maybe you look at me, Sam. I do. Yeah, it takes a career to get to those numbers, and that's how I think part of that's how you look at it.
Hi, what did the PNC tell you about the state of your game and how to impact your prep for playing another event?
As you watched at the PNC, I was able to play the cart and hit shots and do what I wanted, but I had the endurance in my ankle, and so we've been working on that, and getting it to where I can still hit shots, but it's the walking endurance it's hard. That's something that we've had to work on and walk on distances, the beach, and just basically stress it out, but also recover by the next day and see how it is information-wise, and then practicing. And I may have done it a couple times here or there, but here I am.
Yes, sir. Being from Norway, I just had to ask a guy who's done really well at your events, Victor Hovland. He's done well here. He's done really well at Bahamas. Just your thoughts on him as a player and as a person, and how far he can go.
The sky's limited for Victor. The way he drives it, he doesn't really have any weaknesses in the game. I mean, initially, probably his short game, but that's turned around. He's done some really good work with that. But just the way he takes it off. I know it's not one of the longer bars out there, but you just look at how many fairways he hit and how many good iron shots he hits. That's going to take him a long way. And then his fitness. I mean, he works very hard at getting explosiveness and endurance to play, and I think he's just getting started, and the sky's limit for him.
Okay, we'll go to Kira in the back row.
Hi, Tiger. You just said that you wouldn't tee up in the tournament if you didn't think you could win. From PNC until now, could you just take us through your lifestyle and your day-to-day to actually get yourself to that point where you can sit here and confidently say that?
I hit balls basically almost every day. I chip and putt, and I got a neat little practice facility in my backyard, so I can do a little bit of short game work there and a little bit of progression. And I've got a medalist ball, I've locked off course and played. And then I'll play, I'll hop a cart when it gets a little tired. And then it's just gone from a few holes to 9 holes to all back 9 and then to 18 holes and go back home, practice. So it's just a build-up, and it has built up fantastic to get to this point. And then after this event, we'll analyze it and see what we need to do to get ready for Augusta.
Go to Jim, back with that mic up the front.
Jim, good to see you. Good to see you. You've always had a thirst for knowledge, whether it is about golf or just the game of life. What have you learned about yourself over the last year since your accident maybe you didn't know before?
Well, I think that I've had an incredible support staff and people that have really have helped me get to this point. It's hard physically, as we all know, but I have to speak great people. I mean, my training staff has allowed me to get to this point. I'm more pliable. I've got more endurance. And then the great friendships I've had on the tour. These guys text me and egg me on, and the banter back and forth, and it's incredible support. And I would never have got to this point and back to this point without their support.
Tiger, have you walked 72 holes 40 in a row?
No.
And do you ever see a yeah? Maybe more. Do you see a scenario when it's not touch and go, when you might be able to depend on the leg, or do you think that it will be this kind of day-by-day thing forever?
As I've been saying, I'm going to be playing a fiddle, so I pick and choose my events and how many events I'm going to play. And I alluded to, last year, probably there's going to be a couple more. And would I like to play more? Yes. Will it allow me to? I don't know. And I have to be realistic about that. So being realistic about the recovery and the training and whoop.
It's not me.
Sorry. My bad.
We've all done it.
No, it's just about I know I'm not going to be playing a full schedule, and I got to pick and choose what I'm going to be playing in, and it's very limited. And so I would put all my energy into those.
Okay, we'll go to Bobby.
You're anticipating the Masters. It's going to be the first time that you're in a room, in a group with LIV players. Wondering what that anticipation is like for you as far as how you may handle it, what your demeanor is going to be when you're around them.
That's a question I don't know because I haven't been around them. Some of the players out here have, and for instance, Rory's at in Dubai. Some of those players, and I don't know. I don't know what that reaction is going to be. I know that some of our friendships have certainly taken a different path, but we'll see when all that transpires. That's still a couple of months away.
Is there being uncomfortable? Would you anticipate it being uncomfortable?
Yeah, the changes are going to be obviously something that's talked about. We as a whole need to honor Scotty. Scotty's the winner; it's his dinner, and so making sure that Scotty honored correctly, but also realizing just the nature of what has transpired and the people that we have left, and just where our situations are. Either legally, emotionally, there's a lot there.
Right in the back.
Tiger, over the past month, Tom Brady retired. Now Aaron Rodgers is considering it. Different sports, obviously, but can you relate or understand their plight at all? They're walking away not necessarily because physical skills have been shown, because they feel like they don't have any more to give.
Yeah, I didn't think that I would. There was a particular back after my back fusion. I didn't know if I was going to walk again after that, and I came back and had a nice run. Same thing with this leg. I didn't know if I was able to play again, and I played 3 majors last year. So. Yes, when you get a little older and get more banged up, you're not invincible as you once were, and that's just the reality of all of us just aging. Those are contact sports. I don't know how they playing as long as he did, and the level he played was phenomenal. I mean, we just had to just look at him as an outlier of how great that was. And I remember as a kid growing up watching John Willie speak and just cried, I could do it, but my body won't let me do it anymore. He won the last 2 Super Bowls, but he just could not physically do it anymore. And I've got that point a couple times where you kind of think about our sport. I mean, there's no contact. I don't have 300 guys falling out of me. It's just a matter of shooting the lowest score. So we have ability to pick and play a little longer, and we've seen my hero Arnold Palmer, like all of us. Hell, he played in 50 straight Masters. okay? 50 straight. I'm not even 50 years old yet, and playing 50 straight Masters. And you've got Gary Player playing 51 Masters. I mean, we're different sports.
And we're talking to Dylan. Do you feel grateful to be here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
At what point in your career did you start to feel grateful to be out here? Not suggesting you ever took it for granted, but you know what I mean, injury-wise.
Probably, I had some knee surgery early on in my career, but nothing like what I experienced with my back. And when my back went, and those were tough surgeries and tough rehabs, and I could power through my knee and meniscus and no ACL, and I could power through that, but I could never power through my back. And that's when I started realizing that the mortality of this game and just sports in general. And I didn't think I was immoral. Just what we all think as athletes. But there comes a point. A couple of my friends in NFL was when you become afraid to get hit. You take that one little flinch of I don't want to get hit. Well, when I had a back, I didn't want to hit certain shots because I made it up on it. And so that was tough.
The second thing I want to ask about are expectations, which you can ignore, but they're still out there. So if you go back to like early 2000s, where if you're a month without winning, you were in some expectations were great. Do later in your career where the expectations for the number you'd never winning. Which one do you enjoy hearing more?
Well, I look at that. Me personally, I look at the fact that I won 3 years. So there you go.
Dylan, go ahead.
Yeah, Tiger, we're a couple designated events into the new look PGA Tour, and I was just curious how you think it's going and how different you think it'll feel throughout the year.
Yeah, we've had 3 already, and I think it's been received. There's obviously mixed emotions on it, but from a marketing side of it and from the tour side of it and the future of our sport, it's been very positive, and we need to keep going with it and keep staying in line and keep progressing and making it better. We need to produce the best product we possibly can to sell to all the viewerships. There's so many different directions out there now. There's so many options that you have, and so it's about us creating the best product so that we have more eyes on it. We have more stars. People want to come out and if I want to watch the game of golf, participate either on social media or the different streaming platforms. It's just the fact that they're able to watch our sport. So we learned that we have to create the best product, and that's what we're trying to do.
Mixed emotions. Have you gotten to talk to guys that have different types of
emotions? Absolutely. It runs the gamut, and from top players to players who obviously have injuries, or the fact that you have guys who are journeymen, or back and forth. Yes, I've talked to the gamut. And there's, as I said, there's mixed emotions. At the end of the day, we're trying to create the best product, and how we do that, that's what we're trying to do, and we're still figuring it out. And we have a lot of toppers in mind since the Dollar meeting, and we're trying to create that atmosphere across the board and understand that players need to be able to have access and ability to play at these elite events. And how do we do that? We want to create the next stars. I was lucky to get a sponsor at 16 years old, and so is that possible in that new model? We need to create opportunities like that. So I look back and that I got lucky and I was able to play in this event. Byron Nelson asked me to play in his event. Arnold asked me to play in his event. So I got those opportunities very early in my career. And we don't want the next stars to not have those opportunities.
I'm going to run here with my
Tiger, is the plantar fasciitis issue up in the foot?
Yes.
As much of a
No, it's not as much, no, but it's better.
And with the LIV kind of came to a head here last year. Looking back over the last year with what PGA Tour, some things you just talked about. Is LIV more of a threat, less of a threat?
Well, it's been a very, how can I say, the past year since, if you go to this week at Genesis last year to where it's at now, we all have to say it's very turbulent. Never expected the game of golf to be in this situation, but it's reality. And I was looking to trying to create the best product. Obviously, they're a competitive organization trying to create their best product they possibly can, and we're trying to create the best product that we in the future of golf, how it should play. How we do that, we're still working on that. And we have so many toppers that are online, and how to support our world partners in the DP World Tour. We need to have our top players that around the world, and again, create the best product possible. And it's been difficult. It's been difficult. It's been a lot. I mean, you've seen our ambassador, Rory, go for it. I mean, it's been tough. But he's an exception. Go through all that. I've been with him all these conference calls and these side meetings, and for him to go out and play and win, it's been incredible.
Tiger, along the same lines with the designated events, obviously this whole thing came together very quickly from last fall to now. A lot of things had happened to make this work, the schedule, everything. One of the things going forward that's being discussed, at least there's rumblings about, is making some of these limited field, no cuts. Sounds like invitation will be on the dock of that. Where do you stand on that? And also, would you have say in it for this tournament?
We are in the process of figuring all that out. It's been a variety of different models, different opinions, trying to figure out what's the best product and competitive environment and what we should go forward. Yes, limited fields, what's the number? Cuts, yes. Or no, what number would we go to? How many players are playing that? What is the ability to get into designated events? How is Jay able to sell our product to all different sponsors across the board? There's so much give and take, and it's still ongoing. I mean, it really has. It's difficult. A lot of players have been very forthright, great, and it should be. We're a players organization, and so yes, we should have voice and ultimately say, we'll try to help our commissioner create what he can sell so that all of us can benefit.
Okay, we've got time for 2 or 3 more. We'll go lined up on the right here.
Going back to your first tournament here as an amateur, what are you thinking? Are you thinking, hey, I got in, I have to prove myself that I'm deserving this, or just going out and just playing golf normally?
Well, there's a couple things I realized that one, I've never seen as many first results that were non-strike. You'll hit those brand new bottle balls I normally would find in creeks and stuff and use in tournaments. And then out here, and then when I shoot 72, 75, somewhere in there, I remember, I was like 17 back of Davis. So I realized that, yes, there's this barrier, there's a gap. I could have played a little better, I probably played 4 shots better, but I wasn't that good. And realized I could go back to high school golf and get better there, get back better at junior golf, hopefully play a couple more events. I was leading to that. Janelle asked me to play this event, Arnold asked me to play this event, and so I was getting opportunities to kind of figure out where I need to go. And it allowed me to get better in the junior events, in the amateur events. I was able to have more success because I just experienced what I need to do out here, and pick their brains and watch how they went about their business.
So you referenced Arnie and Gary playing 50-plus Masters. Is there any part of your competitive DNA that would allow you to enjoy?
I'm not sorry.
But like, is in tournament golf, is there,
Yeah.
you reference like the history of the game, a lot of people, you're 60 and you wake up with the irrational belief I could win this tournament. Could you still enjoy any of it?
I have not run to the idea of being, if I'm playing, I'm playing to win, okay? I know that players have played and they are ambassadors to the game and trying to grow the game. I can't have mind, I can wrap my mind around that as a competitor. If I'm playing the event, I'm going to try to beat you. I'm there to TW, okay? So I don't understand that make it a thing. If I enter the event, it's always to TW, and there will come a time when my body will not allow me to do that anymore, and it's probably sooner or later. Wrapping my head around that transition and being a better role and just playing and just trying to be out here with the guys, no, that's not in my DNA. In master role and hosting events like this, hosting the Genesis Invitational, or hero and doing those type of things, I totally did. But as a player, I flip that hat around and come up there. From a player standpoint, I'm going to get that W.
Okay, one more question will be Ben right in front of you.
Sorry, when people write you off, how much of a motivational factor is that?
It used to be early on in my career, yes, but I don't think that it has been later in the middle part of my career and the backside of my career. It really hasn't. It was, can I actually do this still? As I was alluding to with others, the back operations were tough. That puts myself more than anything. I could still do it. Starts at home, starts in practice, starts with guys, starts making holes, and then come out here and having the belief you can do it. And ultimately, it's within me and whether or not I believe I can do it. And it's not the motivating factor outside. It used to be, but not towards the later part of my career.
Okay, Tiger, thank you for the time as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Everybody just stick with, we'll have I'll set a memorial exemption winner, Mark West momentarily. Thank you. Welcome, everybody, and welcome Tiger Woods, tournament host of the Genesis Invitational, as we all know. Also, Tiger, we know that your Foundation benefits from this event this week, but I think we're all curious as to kind of what other aspects went into your decision of trying to, actually compete here this week.
Well, the plan was to play. Whether or not this body would listen to me or not was the main question. And I've been, as I told some of you guys, I were down at the field. Yeah, and Father Son, I can do range everything, and so I and all that stuff. So I have endurance, and push up pretty good, and able to recover every day was great. So I'm excited to be able to compete and play here at Riviera, where basically it all started. So I'm excited to get out there and play tomorrow, and get a nice little taste and feel for it. A little bit colder than I thought. And get ready Thursday.
Before we take questions, I just mentioned where it all started back in 02. You hit that opening tee shot. Everybody saw the videos everywhere. Just when you look at now and the young kids from your foundation being involved, can you talk about the progression of your foundation and situations where it is now?
Yeah, just to have some of our attendees of our learning lab to come out here and experience this and to see how their lives have impacted because of this event, because of support from Genesis and everyone here in the media and all of our STEM programs all benefit from this event, and to have the kids that have watched this event have been through our STEM programs to have the ability to come out here and look at the best players in the world play golf, but also showcase their confidence and what they have developed into. And some of the conversations that some of the players I've had with our past attendees from the learning lab, it's incredibly inspiring.
Terrific. Okay, just make sure that everybody, if you have questions, raise your hand. We'll try to get through as many as we can. We'll start with Jeff back.
Type 2 things, could you just a little more specific on what it is physically that you need to kind of be able to play? And then on a lighter note, Ron breaking the scoring record last week. Curious if you have thoughts on that and any golf record that's sort of equivalent of the regular season points title.
As far as the recovery is more mechanical. Whether or not I can recover from day to day, the league is better than it was last year, but it's my ankle. And so being able to have it recover from day to day and meanwhile still stress but have the recovery and also have the strength development at the same time. It's been an intricate balance that we've had to dance, but it's gotten so much better in the last months, and I'm excited to go out there and compete and play with these guys. And I would not have put myself out here to beat these guys and win it. That's the mentality, and if I wasn't ready to win at this level, I am very rusty. But I've come off rusty situations before, and I've done well, and I've had to utilize a lot of those tactics and build up. And also, I know the golf course. I know I haven't had a lot of success on the golf course, but I knew what to practice for, shots to hit at home. And as far as the LeBron record, he accomplished is he's incredible of just the durability, the consistency, and the longevity. I never thought. I grew up watching Kareem here, and never saw him play at Milwaukee, but he was. That's all I remember. The Showtime Lakers and watching Cap run out of the odds and that record we never thought would pass. But what LeBron's doing, also the amount of minutes he's playing, no one's ever done at that age, and what he's done in all positions, and that's never done before, and at this level for this long. And of course, our equivalent to that well, maybe if you look at me and Sam, they do. Yeah, it takes a career to get to those numbers, and that's how I think probably that's how you look at it.
Go to this here.
Hi, what did the PNC tell you about the state of your game and how to impact your prep for playing in another event?
Yes, you watch that PNT. I was able to play hard and hit shots and do whatever I wanted, but I just had the endurance in my ankle, and so we've been working on that and getting it to where I can still play shots, but it's walking endurance. It's hard. That's something that we've had to work on. Walk on the distances, the beach, and just basically stress it out, but also be able to recover for the next day and see how it is inflammation-wise and practicing. And I have redone it a couple times here and there, but here I am.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Tiger. Being from Norway, I just have to ask you about a guy who's done really well at your events, Victor Holland. He's done well here, he's done really well. Bahamas. Just your thoughts on him as a player and a person, and how far you know.
The sky's the limit for Victor. The way he drives it, he doesn't really have any weaknesses in the game. I mean, initially, he hit short game, but that's turned around. He's done some really good work with that. Just ways to go. I know he's not one of the bombers out there, but you just look at the fairway and how many iron shots he hits. That's taken him a long way. And then his fitness, I mean, he works very hard at getting explosiveness and endurance he's able to play, and I think he's just getting started, and the sky's the limit for him.
Hi, Tiger. You just said that you didn't tee it up a tournament if you didn't think that you win. From the PNC until now, could you just take us through your lifestyle and your day-to-day to actually get yourself to that point where you can confidently say that?
Hi, balls. Basically, every day. I got a neat little practice facility in my backyard, so I can do a little bit of game work there and a little progression, and I'm the medalists and hit balls. I've walked my course and played. And then I'll play card when it gets a little tired, and then it's just gone from a few holes to 9 holes to on the back 9 and into 18 holes and like home practice. So it's just a build-up, and it's built up fantastic at this point. And then after this event, I'm going to see what we do to get us.
Good to in the back, and we'll get Mike up.
How are you, man?
I'm pretty good.
Good to see you. You've always had a thirst for knowledge, whether it is about golf or just in life. What have you learned about yourself over the last year since your accident that maybe you didn't know before?
Well, I think that I had an incredible support staff and people that have really helped me get to the point. It's been hard physically, I don't know, but I've had just great people around me. My training staff has allowed me to get to the point. I've been stronger, more pliable, more endurance, and then just a great friendship I've had on the tour. These guys texting me, taking me on, and the banter back and forth, and this incredible support. And I would never have gotten to the point without their support.
Like, have you walked 2 holes 4 days in a row?
No.
Do you see a yeah? Do you see a scenario that's not so touch and go when you might depend on the ladder? Do you think that will be this kind of day-by-day thing for everybody?
As I've been saying, guys, I'm not going to play full schedule, so I got to choose my events and how many events I'm going to play. And I alluded to, last year it's going to be part of the majors and maybe a couple more. And I'd like to play more, yes. Will it allow me to? I don't know. And I have to be realistic about that. So being realistic about the recovery training and. Whoops, sorry. It's not me pulling. My bad. No, it's not the. I'm not playing, a full schedule, and I got to be choosing what I'm playing and regularly, and so I put all my energy into those events.
Tiger, anticipating the Masters, it's going to be the first time that you're in a room, in a group with LIV players. Wondering what that anticipation is like for you, as far as how you may handle it, what your demeanor is going to be when you're around them.
That's a great question. I don't know, because I haven't been around. Some of the players out here have, and for instance, Rory's at Dubai. Some players, and I don't know. I don't know what reaction is going to be. I know that some of our friendships have sort of taken a different path, but we'll see when all that transpires. It's still a couple months away.
Is there maybe uncomfortable? We anticipate it being uncomfortable?
Yeah, the technical is going to be obviously something that's talked about. We as a whole need to honor Scotty. He's the winner. It's his turn, and so making sure that this guy gets honored correctly, but also realizing just the nature of what has transpired and the people that we have left, and just where our situations are, either legally, emotionally. There's a lot there.
Tiger, over the past month, Tom Brady retired. Aaron Rodgers is considering it. Different sports, obviously, but can you relate or understand their plight at all? Whether walking away not necessarily because physical skills have diminished, but because they feel like they don't have anything to give.
Yeah, I didn't think that I would. There was a touch and go where I back after my back fusion. I didn't know if I was going to walk again after that, and I came back in a nice little run. Same with this leg. I didn't know if I was going to play again, and I played for years last year. So, yes, you get a little bit older and get a little more banged up, and you're not as invincible as you once were, and that's just the reality of all of us taking. Those are contact sports. I don't know how they've, like Tom playing as long as he did, and the level he got was phenomenal. You have to just look at him as an outlier of how great that was. And I remember as a kid growing up watching John Elway speak and just cry that I can do it, my body won't let me do it anymore. Won your last 2 Super Bowls, but he just could not physically do it anymore. And that's, I've had that point a couple times where you kind of think about our sport. I mean, there's no contact. I don't have 300-pound guys fall on top of me. It's just a matter of sheer low score. So we have the ability to pick and choose and play a little bit longer. And we've seen my hero Arnold Palmer, like all of us, hell, he played 50 straight Masters. 50 straight, not 50 years yet, and he's been 50 straight Masters. And you look at Gary Player, who played in 51 Masters. I mean, we're different sports.
You feel grateful here? Yes. Okay. Yes. I figured at a point in your career did you start to feel grateful to be out here? Not suggesting you ever took a grant, but I mean injury was.
Probably, I had some surgeries early on in my career, but nothing like what I experienced with my back. And when my back went, those were tough surgeries and tough rehab, and I powered through. I mean, the meniscus and the no ACL, and I powered through that. I could never power through my back, and that's when I sort of like the mortality of this game and sports in general. And I didn't think I was immortal. It is what we all think as athletes, but there comes a point in time when a couple of my friends in NFL was when you become afraid to get hit. You need to have one flinch. I don't want to get hit. Well, when I had my back, I didn't want to certain shots because I made it up on the ground, and so that was tough.
Second thing about our expectations, which you ignore, but they're still out there. So if you go back to early 2000s, where if you went on without winning, you were in a slump, expectations were that great, to later career, where expectations of somewhere you'd never win again. Which one do you want to hear more?
I look at me personally. I looked at the fact that I haven't won in 3 years. So there you go.
Yeah, Ty, we're a couple designated events into the new look PGA Tour, and I was just curious how you think it's going and how different you think it feels throughout the year.
Yeah, we've had three already, and I think it's been received. There's also mixed emotions about it. But from a marketing side of it and from the tour side and the future of our sport, it's been very positive. And we need to keep going with it and keep staying aligned and keep progressing and making it better. We need to produce the best product we possibly can to sell to all the viewerships. And there's so many different directions out there now. So many different options that you have now. And so it's about creating the best products that we have our eyes on it. We have more stars, people want to come and either watch the game of golf, participate either on social media or the different streaming platforms. Just the fact that they're watch our sport. So in order to do that, we have to create the best product, and that's what we're trying to do.
Mixed emotions. Have you gotten a chance to talk to guys that have different types of
emotions? Absolutely. It runs the gamut. And from players to players who are, obviously have injuries, or the fact that you guys are a journeyman or back and forth. Yes, I've talked to the whole gamut. And there's mixed emotions. But at the end of the day, we're going to get the best product. And how do we do that?